Silicon Valley is dramatically stepping up its efforts to silence viewpoints it disagrees with, anything right of center. It's not your imagination. It's happening right now before the 2020 election for the purpose of influencing that election. Facebook just banned a number of prominent conservatives earlier this week, essentially wiping them off the internet. The rest of us are supposed to think that's okay. The latest victim is the conservative Claremont Institute, which wanted to buy Google ads in order to promote a gala, an anniversary gala. Google declined to sell those ads to Claremont because Claremont had published an essay that violated Google's race and ethnicity policy. Read the essay for yourself. Nothing racist about it, actually. Not even close. Google now says that decision was a mistake, and it will allow Claremont to purchase ads now that Claremont complained and has gone public, including on this show. It's interesting, though, how those mistakes always go in exactly the same direction. Harmeet Dhillon knows a lot about this. She's one of the most famous attorneys in America on the question of big tech and its threat to our liberties, and she joins us tonight. Harmeet, thanks a lot for coming on. So it was a mistake. How many times have we heard this from some big tech company or another when caught silencing conservatives?
Well, we hear it every other day, and Tucker, I am not delusional, and people are actually discriminating against conservatives every day this way, and they're gaslighting us by saying, oh, it was just a mistake, you imagine that. I mean, the chilling effect that occurs every time this happens publicly is that it keeps normal conservatives far from the boundaries. It keeps them from saying anything that they think might be controversial, and because these rules that they have are unwritten and constantly evolving and being made up all the time, they make a mockery of the concept of contract between consenting adults, and they simply, people don't know where they stand. It's really an Orwellian type of a situation.
But think of the practical consequences. So newspapers are all but dead. Radio is in decline in general. Cable news speaks with one voice, with the exception of just a very few shows, this among them. So really, social media, that's the entire political conversation. That's where it takes place. And if you control the terms, then you control the outcome of the election, don't you?
You will. And Republicans are ignoring this at their peril. And I keep saying this. I feel like, Cassandra, I keep saying this. We are going to lose every single election going forward if we don't put a stop to this bias. Now, some either conservatives who are being paid off by big tech or simply ill-informed say, oh, well, this is just competition. This is just the market. If you don't like Twitter, you don't like Facebook, go make your own. I mean, these are all statements made by people who've never started their own companies and who are paid by think tanks. They don't know what it means to start a business. And so that's ludicrous. Now, these companies have all built themselves up to the point of monopoly power on the back of protectionist government regulation, Communications Decency Act, Section 230 and others. Now that they've gotten there and they've crowded out everybody else, they are now changing the rules on us. So from last year, Facebook advertising that it was going to allow controversial pages on the right and on the left up so that there could be a dialogue. Today, they're simply snuffing out people completely. Now, they're snuffing out people who probably you or I don't necessarily hang out with, listen to, or follow or like. That's not the point. And that's how they're doing it. They're testing the water. So nobody protested when it was Alex Jones. Now they're not protesting with a few more. And pretty soon it's going to be people closer to you or me or even one of us ourselves being silenced.
It will be us. And when Republicans lose every election that matters in the next cycle, and they wonder why. I wonder why our message didn't get through. Okay. I hope they wake up.
Exactly. And Harmeet, it may be too late. Thank you.
It is great to see you. Please continue sounding that alarm.
Thanks, Tucker.